welcome back to Hazardous Endeavors.
Woo!
Yes!
Woo!
Yes, indeed, the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast brought to you by Digital and Dice. I am your host, Mark. I am DMing for you this evening, and joining me is Zanne, playing Victus.
Hi.
Hi. We also have the Lady Crass, playing Lindo Espina.
Hello. I need to match that awkwardness.
Yeah.
Hello.
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 No!
We have voiceover guy Brian playing Wilf Tradewind.
Keeping it classy in here.
And, of course, we have sound guy Steven as Jaxom Shaw.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. So, where we last left our intrepid adventurers, you had spent a little bit of time on the island south of the mainland, where you had met your new friend, Victus.
Oh,
Hi.
some of us acquired some new bling.
Yes.
I have no idea what you were talking about.
There was a bit of an interaction with the champion of Bane, where, unfortunately, in his quest of attempting to gather up the pieces of armor, Lindo managed to put a few of those pieces on.
So what you're saying is the former champion of Bane, because we've got right here the champion in the champion's belt.
Oh, I moved a boat.
So, do I need to kill Lindo
No.
now?
I mean,
No.
I think
I
we could
am
probably
not
do
worth
some sort
killing.
of cage match.
So, after this, of course, you guys found
think I said that
yourselves a
right.
boat and started making your way out onto the open ocean in an attempt to continue on your journey to Artemsia. And on your way out, you noticed that your boat was taking on quite a bit of water. And then you came across an interesting scene where you had a fairly obvious antagonistic pirate ship that was attacking a merchant boat, where you guys, made a very accurate fireball that took out the powder stores of said pirate ship, causing it to detonate, breaking your ship in the process. And where we last left you, you had just made your way onto the deck of a ship and came face to face with the people on board. And you were looking, I believe, Wilf and Victus and Lindo and Jaxom, you're all there standing on the deck.
That's all of us.
Looking at the crew, and what you are looking at are various forms of undead. You have several semi-rotten corpses meandering about, looking like they're going about their basic business of moving ropes back and forth, tightening things, tying off. You have a skeleton standing in front of you, several belts wrapped around their rib cage hanging off of their hips.
Very flattering.
And standing there with hands together and, well, grinning at you for lack of any other ability to do any other facial expression, thanking you profusely for saving them from the attack.
Does this feel nostalgic?
No, so, hello,
Hello, yes. Thank you. It was amazing. You came out of nowhere and the ship exploded. You obviously are powerful in magic.
Thank you.
Yeah, Wes, what brings you to these waters?
Okay, hold on.
I mean,
A sinking boat.
Well, okay.
I don't
Fair
mean to be
enough.
rude, but is anybody else seeing what I am seeing? I mean, like,
Lindo.
am I just having, like, is this the armor?
Lindo.
Eh.
Rontillion.
Uh-huh.
yeah, no, there's actually a place where people are dead. I'm sorry, if you could explain to my friend, preferably small words.
Oh, well, of course. Yes, absolutely. First off, hello, my name is Edgar. He
hello.
reaches out a
Hello.
skeletal hand to
Ooh,
shake.
that feels nice.
Yeah.
You know, we are a merchant ship out of Rontil, in the north. It might be a bit of a surprise, I assume, that you're
surprised.
seeing us in our forms as a zombie with a coil of rope wrapped around it kind of shambles past, groaning something at one of the other skeletons as they go and they start getting the sails ready to go. Says, the homeland that we come from, there is some natural magics there that cause everyone who dies there to come back, and we maintain our personalities and our faculties, as it were, But
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Edgar.
Okay, one moment, Edgar. Didn't we just destroy something just like that recently?
No. It's different. It's not far from where I'm from. Very generally pretty good neighbors. I mean, they're not ones to throw very lively parties or make a lot of noise.
So we didn't
sort of
kill their
dead.
cousins or something, right?
I don't think so.
Oh,
No.
okay, good. Okay. Sorry, Edgar, go ahead.
No, of course. No, I understand.
The parties can be a little dead, though.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, the fact that you haven't attacked us outright is a good step. That's usually a bit awkward when people see us for the first time. So, for what it's worth, thank you.
Just so happens I'm somewhat
I think I need to wash
near
my
you
hands.
from the great city-state of Feld.
Oh, well.
Probably. You have not
He
bathed in days.
seems kind of at a loss for words for a moment. Kind of the teeth clacks.
It's all right. I
all-
understand.
Oh, well, it's good to see someone from nearby home then. But where were you headed? I mean, the least we could do that your ship has sank. We can bring you where you need to be, I suppose.
Funny enough, that's the second shipwreck we've been through this voyage. We're trying to get back to mainland Artemsia.
Yes.
Oh, well, then, how fortuitous. We were headed our way towards the port city of Davenport.
Oh, marvelous.
A Davenport.
Yes. Just
Lots of
a
places
moment.
have Davenport.
I suppose
How
it
many
might-
places have Davenports?
Lots of places have Davenports.
Some places have them in every house.
A Davenport is a type of couch.
So we are going to the couch.
But
Okay.
it's a port.
I thought that was a lounge
city.
chair. A painting couch?
Right.
A couch with an attached ottoman.
Just a moment. Let me go fetch the captain. It might behoove you to have a word with her before we make our way out. He turns and starts making his way over towards a door situated below the aft deck.
He said behoved.
Would Victus have any idea who these people are?
No, not at all. In the times that Victus has ever seen or dealt with undead, they have always been mindless, ravening hordes that are basically attack on sight, an anathema to everything that lives, all that kind of junk.
These are sort of like the Oracle, only instead of living off of like your energy or anything like that, they just sort of persist.
Did the Oracle also have a bunch of other tiny skeletons crawling out of it?
Well, those were more ghouls, and that was a product of the Rotting Hills. That was bad. You could tell because these guys aren't trying to eat us.
Yet.
Right.
Oh, come on.
You know, I might be a little biased for reasons. I feel like, Victus, come with me on this.
Yes?
A little bit biased for reasons, right?
Generally, yes. But they have not attacked us.
Would you like me to use my divine sense?
Yes.
So yeah, you reach out with your divine senses. The boat is just packed full of undead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, they're definitely
they're-
here.
Yeah, they're all undead.
Ooh.
As a matter of
Instead of attacking us, they're talking with us.
Yes.
They're just reasonable people who just so happen to be hanging out after expiring.
I would agree with you in most situations, but as they have not attacked us, and they have saved us from the ocean, it does seem advantageous to
I
Wait.
am not saying to randomly attack these fine folk. I'm just saying it's disgusting.
Is it?
So
Isn't it?
Edgar has gone back over to a door and has knocked on it, and you hear him kind of knocking, Captain. And a few moments later, the door doesn't open, but a woman passes through it, hair kind of waving in a breeze that isn't quite as strong as it looks like it's to, semi-translucent throughout of it, all this kind of shade of light blues and grays. You see wearing kind of a long coat, buttons that are gleaming yet not quite. long hair kind of flowing out behind her, and she comes floating out from the door, stopping in front of Edgar, and having kind of a hushed conversation for a moment. She looks over at you all. You see where her eyes would normally be are just kind of sunken, dark expanses with little pinpricks of blue light. And she
wearing a hat?
She is wearing a hat, a tricorn hat.
A hat that
I like the hat. It's a nice shade.
She floats down to the deck and walks over to you. You note that she's not making any noise as she does so, but you get the idea that she's doing it almost more for your comfort than her needing to.
I will try not to look terrified.
And she comes walking over and stands in front of you, puts her hands on her hips, says, "Welcome aboard the Stringent. I am Captain Salem. I think we have you to thank for the destruction of that vessel then, eh?"
Well, thank you. We have you to thank for not leaving us to drown here in the ocean depths. Wilf Tradewind, my companions, the Dawn Guard.
Hi.
Wilf Tradewind, huh? An eyebrow raises when you introduce yourself, but she doesn't say anything.
Thank you for welcoming us to your ship.
Of course. Well, as my first mate has informed me, you are headed to Artemsia. Please make yourselves at home here. We do have some supplies for those of you who need them. If you are hungry or if you require water, we keep some on board just in case. So if we will have the chef put something together for you.
You have a chef?
That.
We do.
Do you eat often?
Well, again, there are those amongst the crew who do require some sort of food preparation.
Okay.
And again, every so often we do have those on board who, well, require it. More, say, archaic diet.
Very prudent.
So, please come aboard. I will make sure that you have a place to rest your head. It's only a few days' travel to Artemsia from here.
Marvelous, marvelous. Thank you.
Of course. Edgar, please. And
They're very nice people.
she
Yes, they're lovely.
smiles and nods and then kind of makes her way towards
And transparent.
towards the aft deck, where she then starts. You hear her starting to belt out some orders to people. So Edgar comes walking over and he kind of claps his hands together with a clack and says, "Please come this way. I will make sure that you have a place to rest your head."
Most appreciated. Most appreciated.
Thank you.
So he leads you down below decks, and you're passing a couple, again, a couple skeletons making their way around. The crew seems to be about maybe 30 people of various different kinds. The ones on the top deck are mostly skeletal zombies. You see climbing in the rigging something a little bit more gaunt, longer, kind of talon-like claws as they're climbing around on the rigging.
See, that person's a ghoul. That was the ones that were trying to eat us back in but I'm sure he's very nice.
As you're brought down below decks, he brings you to an area where you see there are some hammocks that are tied up like they're just bundled, ready to be used, but they don't look like they've been used in a while. He goes over and kind of unties them, starts getting them set up, and he motions towards where you can see down a little bit of a hallway. You see a table set up. He says, "If you go back there, we'll make sure that you get something to eat. Cookie will be back there."
Oh, it's greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
So, as you make your way by, as he continues to set up the hammock area, offers a place for you to put your bags down and such like that. You walk back and sitting opposite side of this table towards the deck of the ship, where you see there's like a little bit of a cooking area, a stove attached in there, and you note that all of the windows in this area are all basically bolted shut. And towards that end, there is a single lantern kind of held over the cooking area, and an individual wearing, just kind of little short-cut shirt, pants, wearing, like tall boots. Looks pretty normal, all things considered, except maybe just a little pale. They turn and they see you guys coming in, and that's when you see that their eyes are mostly red. No whites of their eyes, no iris, just a single black pupil in a sea of dark red. And as you approach, he smiles, and you see large, pronounced canines. And he says, "Oh, yes, welcome. It's very surprising. I heard there was a commotion outside. I suppose you've come here for something to eat."
Oh, yes, please.
Lindo has his best nope face on.
It's Lindo. Come on.
Well, my name is Aldo, and I will bring some life back into some of these rations.
Okay, yes. It's great.
It's funny.
Well, have a
I
seat.
don't seem to think so.
Yes, I do.
Good. Thank you.
It'll be great to have you here for dinner.
Is that one funny?
Turns and starts to takes out some salted fish and some other stuff and starts cooking some things up. Seems to be a fairly practiced hand at it, and seems very excited for the opportunity.
Probably doesn't get to cook that often. Come on.
Okay, yep, here I am.
He saying over his shoulder as he's doing it, that, the taste buds of a lot of the people on the crew really aren't that refined. But it'll be great to know whether I still have what it takes. And he just starts kind of frying some stuff up. The smells of like butter and garlic, and just starts kind of wafting out.
See?
Well,
Okay.
Victus just seeing, there's a vampire making a fish. Yeah. Cooking fish over there.
I am admiring his technique.
Just imagine like a vampire manifesting a fish.
In no time at all, as you are all kind of sitting around this table, presented to you in little kind of tin bowls are, fillets of kind of cooked up, rehydrated, salted fish. Smells wonderful. And does anyone not eat? Well, aside from Victus, who doesn't have to.
I eat. I tuck in.
Yep.
Okay.
This is good. I mean, come on.
No, it's fine. I wait like 5 minutes just in case he dies.
He stands expectantly, kind of on the other side of the table, wringing his hand slightly. And as you tuck in, it tastes great. It legitimately tastes like some of the better inn food you've had.
Lindo, I watched as he cooked. I did not see any averse ingredients that he may have added.
Perlighting right now. It is very good.
He smiles again, really wide, and just, very good. If you'll be staying with us for a couple of days, I mean, if you're obviously you're here for a couple of days, you're heading. Please forgive me. But yes, dinner. We have meal times in the morning, afternoon, and evening. I will make sure that there is something fresh for you for each of those. Yes.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes.
It is very appreciated.
This is
Of course.
as lucky as we could getting rescued.
Well.
I am sorry that I cannot take part.
No, I understand completely. No reason to apologize. He smiles, and as you're sitting there, you note that some of the crew are starting to kind of filter in. He looks up and seems to almost look a little downcast, and he says, "Well, I suppose I should get ready with the rest of the preparation." As he goes over to a barrel, a very odd, like kind of metal encased barrel. He cracks it open. You can see some like a fog of cold coming out of it. And he reaches in. He pulls out what looks like a haunch of a cow, like whole. He pulls it out and then pulls down a fairly large butcher knife, sighs for a moment, and then starts fairly expertly butchering this leg of cow as a couple of the zombies start making their way over and sitting down slowly at the table. Kind of, you can hear the creaking not only of the seats, but almost like a squelching sound just a little bit as they do so. One that
Filled with appetite.
One that sits down across from Lindo looks at him with one good eye still in their face, and smiles.
I definitely am showing my teeth.
See?
So were they, even though their mouth is mostly closed.
Aha! We're like twinsies. Ah.
Come on now, less snarl, more smile.
Uh-huh.
I understand, Lindo. It is unnerving.
Just a little bit, you know.
There's a bit of a chuckle from behind you when Victus says that, and a bony hand clasps down on Lindo's shoulder.
I scream like a girl.
And
I just straight up scream like a girl.
This delighted cackle from behind you, as this a very obviously female voice says, "Ha ha! I love it when they're like this." You turn to look, and you see a skeleton painted almost every single inch in various bright colors, in swirling patterns and designs. And there's a kind of a curved sword that is strapped directly to a bone rather than hanging on a belt, and they just kind of are sitting there like holding nothing around their stomach area and laughing at that as they walk by, shaking their head.
Okay, that was fun. Everybody had fun.
See, I think you're
fun
getting
here.
a little rattled there.
Ah ha 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 ha. Yes.
There's a bit of a cackle from her as she continues walking. So, after you've had a chance to have a meal and you make your way out of the mess area as the rest of the crew, well, those that need to come down to get their meals, you guys are able to relax for a bit, set yourselves up in an area where you can sleep, and then also tour the ship a little bit. Overall, the ship is pretty much full of cargo headed to Artemsia. And if anybody asks,
I ask.
Edgar is more than happy to let you know that they're bringing various crafts that are native to the Runtillion area, especially
Like
because
dream catchers?
a lot of their crafts are things that their craftsmen have been around for a good long while, that have been practicing since before they died.
Scrimshaw. Lots of scrimshaw.
Yes, actually quite a lot of scrimshaw, as well as pottery and small jewelry and stuff like that. So there is things on the ship that are more like art rather than actually being like foodstuffs or things like that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
They're also bringing things like candles and a lot of things that require, say, large stores of fat that aren't being used for anything else. And, quite a lot of sundries like that.
Okay, everything's fine. I'm fine.
You're fine. You're fine.
I'm
Here.
fine. We're fine. You're fine here. Hello, how are you?
After getting everything all set up, I unpack my loot, start getting it tuned up and ready to play some jolly sea shanties and the like.
Okay. As you do so, you sit down kind of up on the top deck and you start tuning it up. The brightly colored skeleton makes their way over, and standing nearby for a moment, kind of seems to be looking you over, and then from a pouch they pull a flute, and they look at you.
Okay, how do you eat
Okay,
it?
I'm actually interested in this one because you don't have lungs, but
Or lips.
let's rock this.
She actually laughs at that, puts the flute back, makes her way over to a set of crates, and pulls out a guitar. It's always funny when they look at me like that when I do that. I keep that on me for that purpose.
Real kidder.
And time for some birdie bird.
So, give me a perform there.
How's the 17?
A 17 is mighty fine. Her accompaniment is along the lines of a 15. So the song plays nice and smooth as she picks up on the tune you're playing, especially because from where you're from, it's a fairly common tune, and she would have heard it. So she picks up, and the two of them play a fairly jaunty theme on deck as the people... it's almost like you're raising their spirits a little. Right. But the first day passes fairly easily. Pretty much nothing goes on board aside from, well, those of you who have been on ships before realize they're just doing what any other crew would do. You do
notice
know
that not really sleeping.
that is the other thing you note is as you guys bed down, you find that none of the crew seems to be bedding down at all, and they just are going about their normal business, the ship continuing on its way. So
Not unnerving at all.
Lindo,
Yeah.
would it make you feel better if we set up watches?
You don't need to.
Yeah, Victus is awake all the time.
All right.
This is true.
There. You're like a nightlight.
yeah.
I thought that was what you did.
Yeah, this my sword has not stopped glowing.
Yeah, no, it has not. The crew, for the most part, seems to try to be keeping it down as they pass by where you guys are sleeping.
Just walking by slower.
Quiet as a ghost.
Yes,
Ding, 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 ding,
yeah,
ding,
the ghosts, for their part,
ding,
since they
ding,
don't
ding,
really
ding.
make any noise as they're moving around, you don't really notice them except for that kind of bluish green gray glow as they move around.
But
But
slightly colder.
you know,
We don't really notice anything except literally the things that haunt people's dreams.
Lindo, you roll over in the middle of the night and are like readjusting. You open an eye and you see a skeleton like slowly like click click clack click click clack as they're sneaking by. Like they stop when you see them, give you like a little bit of a wave, and then
I wave back.
they just kind of hurry past. 20 minutes later, a zombie comes like stomp slide by. Eye opens, they just kind of wave a hand. Sorry. So, your first night is pretty much without much sleep. So the next morning, those of you who have any ability to do any sort of sailing, so I believe Wilf, you actually do have your background that allows for that. So if you wish, you can attempt to help out.
I'm a sailor.
Yes.
Good day.
Something is just off about this.
Yeah.
So let's
Uh-huh.
yeah.
That dice goes away.
That dice goes away. That just gonna...
At one point then during the afternoon, Edgar would come over and request that maybe you play some more.
Oh,
I can do that.
I want to start. You follow me this time.
Oh?
Yeah.
Yeah? How'd that go?
I 16.
A 16?
A 17.
A 17? Okay.
Lindo is going to play an Artemsian song.
Okay. So you start playing a song from the Artemsian region, and again, a lot of the sailors are kind of nodding and smiling. Well, nodding and learn about that. The skeletal friend you made earlier, she comes over with the guitar and plays an accompaniment as well, matching up with you fairly well, playing the off chords and doing what is necessary to make that into a fairly strong duet.
So Lindo, how is it sleeping in heavy armor?
Heavy.
Yeah?
Armory.
Comfy?
No, actually, not really. Every time I shift, it goes click clank. Shift click clank. Shift click clank.
You get used to it.
Do you?
Yes.
And you play your songs, the afternoon is going by, you guys end up going down for your meals. Again, Aldo is very, very happy to have you down there, and he rehydrates some dried meats and is very excited to serve you various things.
Victus would like to spend his time asking anyone who can speak about their land and what he can learn from it.
Okay. You find very quickly pretty much the two most talkative ones are the first mate Edgar and the very colorful skeleton who introduces herself as Alice. And she is the one who talks at great length and very flowery discussion about the grand lands, the grand mortuary cities of Rontil, and the Ever King living under the Eternal Mountain, and how her family has been living in that region for centuries, and she will she'll oh yes when I lived there it was very much part of the family business, but as soon as I died it's like the world opened up to me and I got to travel. She goes on in a little bit about Rontil in that way, very like yes, home kind of style. And the stuff you learn about Rontil is very much nothing practical so much as how beautiful it is, and how wonderful the people are, and the kind of great things that they do.
It's a great place to get lawyers.
Yeah, that is true.
Vampires?
So
Yeah.
that and about as she's discussing that, she'll pepper the conversation every so often with like maybe at some point, if you wouldn't mind, maybe you could possibly introduce me to your friend over there with the guitar. I played with them earlier, but I'd love to possibly get to know them.
Oh, of course. I would be happy to.
What is his name?
Wilf Tradewind.
Yes.
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 The tall one with the guitar?
No.
The tall one. Lindo, Espina, the beautiful Thorn.
Is that his name? She turns the skull, looking over at him appraisingly.
No. That's in my heart. It's not out loud. No.
Lindo is uneasy.
I can tell. It's okay. I've met a lot of men who are like that at first.
I imagine.
First.
I think he will warm up to everyone the longer that he is on the ship and sees that no one will be eating him.
Oh, well, I mean, we can't guarantee that.
That would be a shame. I would hate to have to make this boat go the way of the last one.
Well, not like that, friend. No. You could say that, perhaps appetites are a little different.
I would have to speak to Lindo first. And if he is all right with it, then I suppose it would be fine.
By all means.
All right.
As she leans up against the side and kind of idly, like, looks like she's cleaning her nails if she had any.
Victus returns to the table.
Okay.
Dancing phalanges.
My brain is working.
Victus
real
comes
hard.
sitting down by Lindo.
Lindo,
Uh-huh.
you may not have met Alice formally, but Alice seems to be interested in you.
Which one is an Alice?
Alice is the skeleton with the many colors.
Ah, a lady skeleton.
Yes,
Okay.
I assume.
Uh-huh.
She is interested in eating you?
Okay. Officially upset. I do not think that this is an agreeable thing. No. I think that I need to jump off the boat.
No, Lindo. Lindo.
No, okay. Mm-hmm.
She did not mean it in the way that most people mean it.
Oh, you just mean, like, what, casually eating? Like, hey, let's go on a date. I eat your finger.
I'm not
It's fine.
sure. I thought perhaps it would be more obvious to someone who has a heartbeat.
Nope. Just mostly fear.
Big fleshy deal.
Mostly fear.
Well, that is a shame. She does seem nice.
Okay. You know what? I have had enough. I'm going to march up to Alice.
She's leaning up against the side of the bulkhead. And she sees you walking up and kind of straightens up.
Okay.
Hello.
Madam.
Yes.
Alice. Madam Alice.
Oh, yes.
Ooh. Wait, what? I
Yes.
am not appealed by this concept of you eating me. That sounds like a terrible idea. And Victus, as a good friend, has come over and has warned me, and I will be watching you.
Perhaps maybe
With
there
my
was a
eyes.
breakdown in communication.
The ones in my
here.
head.
So, Lindo, have you ever looked at somebody and thought to yourself, I could just gobble them up?
No. That would be wrong. And cannibalism.
Well, not literally, Lindo.
Oh.
You want to? She reaches out a hand and kind of strokes it down from your shoulder down your bicep, and she says, in the conversational way, like over dinner, with a glass of wine.
Oh. Excuse me.
Of course, take your time. I am literally here forever.
I walk away slowly
Okay.
and try not to make any sudden movements.
Internally screaming.
Leans back up and seems to be kind of picking at the ends of her fingers.
Internally screaming. And I walk casually back to my bros.
All right.
Sitting there, flunking out a song. It's all right. 15. It's just sort of.
Did she make her intentions known?
Hi, guys.
Hello, Lindo. How's it going?
Have you ever been in a situation, say, romantically?
No.
Okay. Let's scratch that. Have you ever been, not you, Victus, hit on by an undead?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it happens.
No. I've hit undead.
Yes.
Not
I
hit
used then
on
a
them.
fireball, and it was no longer an issue.
Oh, okay. Great! If I have any fireballs, I will be sure to use that one later. I try to understand
Did you not have a good conversation?
physical nature of it. Or even fathom the physical nature of it.
Well, I mean-
No, new terms to boning, right?
Puns aside, have you tried just subtly indicating your disinterest? Maybe giving her the cold shoulder?
I literally have zero concept of how to do that.
You don't turn many people down, do you?
No.
Linda, you look over to where she's leaning, and she looks up from her, just idly kind of tacking her fingers together, looks up at you, and one of the little blue lights in her eyes winks out slightly.
Uh-huh.
So,
Was it not an agreeable type of devouring?
I'd almost be flattered if I wasn't completely disgusted in the concept.
Of what?
Lindo,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to alarm you, but every person that you've ever had relations with has also had a skeleton.
Inside them.
You, in fact, have a skeleton inside you right now.
Well,
You know,
She's just a little bit more exhibitionist than you.
I've never thought about it that way.
You both play guitar. You both love the appearance of flamboyance, and, she's actually got a pretty good sense of humor. I think that you should give her a talking to.
I'm gonna throw a little meta out there.
yeah?
When Lindo makes a decision in his life,
Oh, God.
There is an under 10 rule.
Is there? I would hope there really would be.
Oh,
Ha 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 ha. You're gross. On so many levels right now. When I roll the dice, and if it is under the number 10,
Got you.
yes, okay,
On the
he
dice.
just goes with it. Because, you only live once until you die and get resurrected.
Sure.
apparently.
Apparently.
Well, with the Dragon Balls only
Lindo
once.
has rolled a 4.
I see. In the chaotic nature that is Lindo's mind, suddenly a light has turned on.
Like,
So, you're
the
saying that-
possibilities really could be endless.
Lindo could be going to the Bone Zone.
I mean, in the concept that,
Sorry, just ribbing you.
if I have a skeleton, and she is a skeleton, and you are a skeleton inside of your flesh,
Yeah,
well, you're a very short skeleton.
I am a very short skeleton.
How can you tell the difference between a short skeleton, adult, halfling, and a child?
Well,
The bone structure is different.
also the head
Thank you, Victus.
size. Like, my skull is smaller than your skull, or even really a human child's skull. In addition, if it's a person talking, chances are you can discern whether they're a child or a person.
Wilf is
A child.
talking,
Child or
and
a
I'm
person.
like licking my thumb and like swishing back my eyebrow, spelling myself, and then realizing that probably doesn't matter.
You look over for a moment, and you see she's got a small handheld mirror, a paintbrush, and a small thing of paint, and she's literally touching up little bits of the color on parts of her skull. And
honestly,
I haven't brushed my teeth in like a week, but you don't think that's gonna matter to you?
if she still has olfactory, that would be very surprising.
Here, have
Do
a
you
mint.
now want to be devoured?
I'm considering it.
Lindo, I think that you should go over there. You should talk to the nice lady skeleton, and then you should just be your most charming self. And there's an
inspiration.
bardic inspiration dice.
Well, all right then.
You've got this. You're
I
a
got
skeleton with just a lot of meat
Doesn't
and
matter
metal
if
and
they're
leather
dead.
and things.
I am Lindo the Espina, the beautiful Thorn. I can woo anyone.
Lindo,
Yes,
here.
I am uncertain.
here, have a mint.
But you know, this is for my confidence. Yeah.
And as you walk back over to speak with Alice, as we zoom our camera back from the ship as it sails off towards Artemsia.
The love cruise.
I am very glad to have facilitated a new friendship.
Indeed. And that, dear Digidicers, is where we're going to leave you for this episode of Hazardous Endeavors. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time,
Game on,
Internets.